You want to do the show all by yourself, Dan? That's fine. That's fine. I don't need to show up.
That's what the people would like.
We'll get a little puppet, and you can just do it with you and a puppet.
Hey, Tony Puppet. Ah!
Hey, watch him! With Dan and Tony! Hey, watch him! With Dan and Tony! It's like watching, yeah!
Welcome to Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. I'm Dan.
I'm Tony.
This is the show that dares to watch the latest movies almost right after they came out, within months of them coming out, if not weeks.
Those are two very different things. Almost right when they come out, within months of coming out. That's a pretty big window.
No, I mean, if you look at it from the time of the dinosaurs,
Sure.
Length of humanity existing.
65 billion years.
I mean, as humans, we think that it matters, time. But, time means nothing.
Time
means
doesn't
everything.
care.
So we watch a movie and then we talk about the movie and one of us picks the movie. And in this case, the person that picked the movie was Tony, and Tony made a good choice.
I did it. Did I? I don't know. I regret it a little bit.
Why?
Dan, how many notes do you think I took?
Less than
The answer's 3. I took 3 notes total, and then
3
a
notes.
fourth note that said, and I quote, I took 3 notes. This movie was boring, and that's the fourth note.
I only did 3 pages on this movie, and I believe I did a little more than 3 pages.
Okay.
3 pages and 4 lines. I think that last movie we did, whatever it was, 5 or 6 pages.
Yeah, what did we do last time? It was your choice, and you picked a Halloween adjacent movie. You said
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, it was Ghost Rider, probably. Yeah,
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider was great. Now that's a good movie.
I mean,
bonehead. I said it all week.
I mean, Ghost Rider did have jokes.
It sure did. This movie, it tried a couple jokes.
What movie is it, Tony?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is Eli Roth's new banger. It's called Borderlands, based on a video game series. Well, sort of. It's based on the IP of the video game series. It's not really about the video game.
I saw this trailer for this movie and I was like, okay, I'm in. I might even go to the theaters for this movie.
Are you glad you didn't?
Dodged a bullet. I kept reading all the reviews and I'm like, is it really going to be that bad? Is it going to be? Oh, yeah, this movie
Turns out it is. And here's why you saw the trailer and you liked it, right? It's very colorful. It's very vibe. Like, it has a vibe visually that doesn't match the vibe of the actual movie, in my opinion. And like, it looked like it could be some crazy fun, and it's just not. It's not fun. There's zero fun. Nobody's having fun in the movie.
No.
I'm not having fun watching the movie.
No.
It's bleak. It's pretty bleak.
And as we were talking about before the show, is like, sometimes you want to see people play characters. And then sometimes people play characters and someone should have been standing there and go, no. Cut,
let's go back to 1. Let's try it again differently. Completely different, please.
Okay, you see how they're doing a character? They shouldn't be doing it, and neither should you.
Yes, everyone just stop.
Jamie Lee Curtis, worst character ever.
I don't know what she's doing. But to be fair, though, I said that about a couple of people in this movie. I don't know what you're doing.
What's her name playing Tina? You're like, no.
Yeah. So what? She was the kid in 65, right? This tiny Tina.
Oh, yeah. She was in Love and Monsters. She was, what's his name?
That movie's so good.
What's his name's little companion? And they were traveling together.
Okay.
And she's so good in that. She's so good in that. I'm just like, how are you going to, she's good actress, funny, good energy. And you're just like, you're having her play this blah, 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 blah character that's supposed to be the character you care about. And you're like, oh.
Yeah. And it rings false. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like she's playing a character, which is also how it feels with Jamie Lee Curtis. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't blame her for it, because you have Jamie Lee Curtis, a wonderful actor for 100 years, give or take. And she looks like, you go to local theater and watch someone trying to put on a character. That's what that felt like. So it can't be her fault.
And then even, what's her name? The lead. You're just like,
So what's interesting, Dan, is did you read reviews? I love to read reviews before
I did not on
we
this
do a
one.
show. I read some reviews.
I read some basic ideas of what, there are people just saying this doesn't work. Ugh.
Oh, sure. Critic reviews. A lot of them were, this movie's terrible, but Cate Blanchett doing her best. And I just felt very differently. I hated her. I just genuinely was like, this doesn't work for me on any level. The only person that I didn't hate was Kevin Hart. And that's because Kevin Hart is playing Kevin Hart.
Was he in the movie?
Yes, he's the soldier.
Was he in the movie?
He's in the beginning.
Well, I mean,
he's in the first scene, and I was like, okay, maybe this movie won't be bad. And then it was my favorite scene of the movie.
First of all, they don't give Kevin any jokes.
No, that is correct. Well, they give him one joke.
They give him one
joke. It's right at the beginning with Tiny Tina.
Oh, it's about him being short or something.
Yeah, him being short. Tiny Tina's like, oh, he sent his shortest soldier, and he's like, yeah, for his least funny daughter. And I was like, okay, jokes. We got a joke, and then it all fell apart. I thought that was the beginning. I thought that was the launching point, and we were just going to get better, and then we got worse.
This movie, Cate Blanchett's character Lilith, just once again we have another character that doesn't want to be there.
The character doesn't want to be there. Cate Blanchett doesn't seem to want to be there. I don't want to be there.
I mean, basically the movie is Kevin Hart's character breaks out Tina and takes her to planet. Don't know why he takes her to the planet. You think he'd take her to someplace other than the planet. I don't know, so that they can live there. I don't know. And then Cate Blanchett's bounty hunter person, Lilith, goes in search of them, finds them, and then we end up with this little band of people that spends their time trying to find this vault, which everyone is searching for, which is supposed to be full of all the weapons of the universe, which you can destroy the universe with. And it might be the kid that gets you in the vault. It might be Cate Blanchett's character. We immediately know it's going to be Cate Blanchett's character.
Sure.
And then at the end, she gets magic powers and then can also open the vault.
Yeah. All right. Great episode. If you like what we do here, like and subscribe.
That's the movie.
Yeah, it's a bad movie. Here's my biggest problem I have lots of problems, but I think my biggest problem is the collective, the group never comes together. I feel like they're supposed to be like a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe, where they're like people that don't necessarily like each other at the top, but they grow to love each other as a family. You know what I mean? Like that sort of vibe. And we just stick in the I don't like you kind of vibe the whole movie until the final twist where Cate Blanchett is like, oh, never mind, I'll save you all.
And there's a robot, Jack Black, playing a robot. I enjoyed the robot.
The whole time?
Yeah, pretty much.
I enjoyed the robot for about 2 minutes. I was pretty much over the whole thing.
I was fine with the robot because the robot was the only one who felt like he was trying to keep them as a group and trying to.
Yeah, sure.
The robot was the motivating character in a sense, and
but it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Because that character has nothing to do with anything. He's just there to help Cate Blanchett. That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know, man. This movie is not good. This is a bad movie.
Yeah, so you never felt like they came together as a team, they had a mission, they really wanted something, because once again, it's like you open the vault and then you get all these weapons and then it's going to cause peace. You're like, How does that work?
What are you saying to me? Yeah.
And actually, they opened the vault, which is the prophecy, and it didn't cause peace in the area.
Well, in their defense, the vault is just full of cubes, Rubik's cubes, from what I could tell, and an octopus. So I'm not really sure how that does anything.
No, the bad guy looked at all the cubes and he's all like, "Oh, I have all this cube power."
Right. And I don't know what any of that means. And they didn't tell me what it means. So I was just like, I think this guy's crazy.
It really should have been a bunch of guns, right?
It should have been anything. Anything tangible that I could be like, oh, okay, I see. This is cool. Thank God we came into the vault at some point in this movie. We really paid off the entire film. Instead, I was like, this is what everyone's trying to get into? Why? What's going on? And why is there an octopus monster in it, Dan? I don't get it.
How did she know there was an octopus monster in there?
I don't know.
You know, at least when you're watching like the terrible Aquaman movie, you're like, oh, there's a reason why there's a giant octopus at the end of the situation.
Sure, yeah, makes sense. We're in the sea. Under the sea.
What else did I have to say about this movie? I don't know.
You want to talk about how much you loved the bad guy?
I didn't understand the bad guy.
Sure, yeah. That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Is he like an actor?
I have no idea. I don't know who he is. Maybe I do, and I just didn't care. I don't know. He was like one of the only people I didn't stop and look up. So
there it is.
I don't know.
And the guy that plays Krieg, he was okay.
Is that the crazy or whatever they call him? Yeah.
Oh, that's what
the psycho.
So they have this idea. They're like, okay, well, the plan will be they're going to find this vault. And then they're going to find the vault, and then that'll be the end of the movie. You're like, okay, that makes sense. We have the misdirection, which you think the girl is the way to get into the vault, but it's really Cate Blanchett, which they tip halfway through the movie by having her find like a magic key that gets you in there.
Immediately, and everyone's like, how did you do it? How? No. Oh, that's impossible.
No one does that.
No, somebody did it. She goes, I don't know, just lucky, I guess. That's exactly what she said. I embellished what they said.
See, but they drop it instantly. Instead of going like, well, I guess that means something, which is what we would be standing there. We'd be like, if you can find that, then that kind of means something. So my point was, this movie just takes a bunch of bits from other movies and then redoes them so badly.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
that's the best way to make a movie. Is just recycle old bits but do them worse. I think we have a real future in that, Dan.
This reminds me of this, and that was a great movie. Now I'm not thinking about the movie I'm watching. I'm thinking about the great movie.
That works perfectly every time.
Oh my God. Okay, we're going to start this movie. Boom! What do we start with? A big monologue of information thrown down our throats.
I like it.
The Euridians ruled the galaxy. Fragments of their texts are what the humans got to understand things. There's a planet called Pandora where there's a vault. And everybody goes there to try and find the vault. And it's hidden. And there's a prophecy. The prophecy is that the daughter of Euridia will restore the balance.
Yeah. There's just one daughter. I was actually kind of confused. So they were wiped out, right? The Euridians, they died, or
who knows?
Okay, we don't really know.
No, not really.
Okay, because it's a weird prophecy. If they're, how long have they been gone? How is there still a bloodline carrying on? I have a lot of questions, to be honest with you, but it's fine. Nobody cares.
We don't know any of those things. There's a boom. There's an explosion. Here comes Kevin Hart's character. What's his name?
Soldier
boy. He's here to rescue Tina, who is supposedly like a genetic construct daughter of the bad guy Atlas. But also she's also a Euridian, so I mean, I don't think he even cares. He just wants to rescue. Why does he even want to rescue her?
Well, he was sent by the dad because he worked for his army at one point.
I think it was one of the red stormtroopers. I think so.
Yeah, because he comes in with the helmet. Oh, that's another joke too. And he's like, "Oh, this is a bad helmet. There's no air holes or something. Something jokey." But I think maybe he just changes his mind once he meets Tina because he's like, oh, your dad is using you to end the world or something.
So he has no motivation that we know of.
Right. Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's the short answer.
We're starting character A, no motivation. Tina, the person he's rescuing, no motivation.
Right. She's just having a good time, living her life.
She has the ability to make bombs and throw bombs.
She must make them. I don't know what she makes them from, but she's like made them in prison? How is that possible?
I don't know. And then when she gets out, it's just generating bombs. She just generates bombs.
All over the place.
I have all these bombs laying around. It's great.
What a fun thing to have,
But they're kind of also bombs that don't really kill people.
They kill a couple of people.
Yeah, the right people, but
the bad soldiers at one point,
She sets off a thing of TNT, probably about 8 inches in diameter, 12 inches long. Doesn't kill
How
Lilith.
Is that now? If I were a miner, ER, and how much do I have to do to like blow up the next section of a mine? You know what I mean? I don't know anything about dynamite.
Well, I'm going to tell you something about dynamite. What you do with dynamite is you take a drill, right? You drill a hole into the rock, right?
Right.
Then you slide the dynamite into the hole, and then when the dynamite goes, see, like when dynamite explodes, it doesn't do a lot when it's just sitting there. It's like,
okay.
But if it's in this thing, it goes, and then that causes crack, 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 crack.
I get it. Yeah, the only dynamite I know is from Lost, and that just kills people as they carry it because it's corrosive.
And why? No, it's not corrosive.
Shoot.
What dynamite is? What a stick of dynamite is it's a cardboard tube that has sawdust in it, and then you pour nitroglycerin in there.
Right.
Great. The nitroglycerin is what explodes. A piece of dynamite is just it's a vessel to contain nitroglycerin, which you then put a blasting cap in it, which you then can cause it to ignite.
Right. Sure.
By putting electricity through it, and then kaboom, it excites the nitroglycerin, which causes the explosion.
Interesting. I wish I had like graphic skills. We'd put up a little explainer video for that whole thing there, Dan. That was nice.
And that's why we have the Nobel Prize.
Someone got a Nobel Prize for that?
The guy that invented dynamite, Alfred Nobel. He made the Nobel Prizes.
Oh, wow. Did he give it to himself for making dynamite? Because that would be funny.
No.
Well,
wouldn't have been funny. Okay. Let's see. I wrote Mask Guy, Knocked Out, Lady Bad, Krieg, Let's Get Out.
Well, first of all, let's just talk real quickly about Krieg.
Yeah.
Who is in prison, supposedly.
Oh, yeah, he was in prison, yes.
But then it's a glass prison and he just breaks through the door?
I think so. Maybe Tina blows up the door.
No, he just runs through the door.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the prison all the time, why is he in prison? He could break out at any time. It's a glass door. In fact, any one of those people could have broken out of that door. I don't understand. That's not a prison.
Yeah, I think you're overcomplicating things, Tony.
I think that they undercomplicated things. They made the guy run through the glass that was holding him prisoner. I don't know.
You should have made it just a field, and then you should have had it like the field go down.
Great. Love that. Yeah.
Pretty easy to do.
But no. I mean, this is future-y, so.
So Krieg gets out. He decides that he's Tina's protector for unknowable reasons.
Yeah, I guess they're friends. I don't know.
Maybe she gave him food at one point. Probably they were at the dining hall and she gave him grapes or something. That's what I think.
Thanks for the backstory. That's a great backstory. Grapes?
That works it out.
Grapes are going to win him over?
I think so. Are you kidding me? You know, when you're in prison and people give you fresh fruit, like when you go and are off doing things, what do you crave? When you come back to civilization, you crave pizza, fresh fruit, cool soft drinks.
I will tell you right now, I have never craved two of those things in my entire life. Pizza, for sure.
There it is.
I have never craved fruit. Cool fruit, hot fruit. I don't care what kind of fruit. I've never craved fruit in my life.
Have you ever gone like on an extended hike for a week and a half?
A week and a half?
Yeah.
No, but I've done, a couple hours.
That's not. When you like leave, and you're eating MREs and you're eating food in a bag and all
so
that.
Good.
When you come
oatmeal.
when you come back to reality, what you want is like hot fast food. You want a cool drink. You want fruit. You want fruit.
No, see, 2 of those 3 things are great. Yep. I will never want fruit. I mean, I like a banana, and I do like red grapes. I don't like green grapes, but I like red grapes.
Oh, there it is. Krieg and Tony is conquered. So maybe she gave him a Snickers bar. There you go. That would get you.
See, now you're talking my language. A little sugar, a little nougat. Some nuts, some protein. This is great.
Tony's love language. Okay, so there's like lots of shooting. Hundreds of people shoot. Kevin Hart, only one that can ever hit anyone. He's just like kill.
And it's PG-13, so you don't actually know that he's hitting anybody. They just fall over, which is a little weird.
And the fight choreography on this movie, no,
pretty much non-existent. Like choreography is a strong word for it, I would say.
And we've talked about, you have to make it so you understand what the fights are. You have to make it so it feels like, oh, I have to move out of the way so I don't get shot. And I'm going to lean over here. You go back and you watch Luc Besson's The Professional. And like every person he kills in that movie, they made a mistake or he was doing it better.
You don't even have to go that far back, Dan. You just go back to the latest Keanu Reeves joint. And that, they do a good job.
And that movie smartly knows how to subtract, this thing, everyone has guns that are always shooting in every direction.
Limitless. I don't understand it. Cate Blanchett's gun like spins. Where does it get bullets? It just spins and keeps firing. I'm very confused.
There's never a movie like this in the world that you would make where you have infinite ammo. You have to run out. Let me ask you something about video games. Tony, do you play video games?
I do play video games.
Is one of the primary thing you have to constantly do in video games is find more bullets?
Depends on the video game, but really? I'm going to tell you specifically the entire point of Borderlands is getting newer and better guns. It's a looter shooter. Like the whole point is to kill people, collect their gear, and upgrade your weapons, which they don't do at all. That is non-existent in this entire movie. That is the core mechanic of the game. Very weird. It's a weird choice.
And what is that? See, that immediately, if you were to play one of these video games and you're like, I'm the idiot that has to sit down and write Borderlands, you're going to say to yourself, oh, everything in this game is about managing your equipment, getting more equipment, and the hardship that comes with that thing. You don't waste bullets. You don't waste bombs. You have to get bombs. And that's the thing is like Tina just always has bombs. Oh, I have bombs. Here's bombs. Here's bombs. And it's like, we don't care. If you have everything you need like that, we don't care about you doing anything with it.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Here's
bombs. Yeah.
Yeah. If you fight for that bomb and she's all like, I'm down to 3 smoke bombs and a bomb that, makes your eyes explode. You're like, oh, I can't wait till she does the eyes explode bomb.
I think that's a great bomb idea. I don't know how that works, Dan, but I'm in. Exploding eyeballs, very cool.
Yes. So, managing resources is how you make us care about your characters.
Sure. Yeah.
And we don't care about any of these characters because they all have infinite resources.
I do not care about these characters. That is correct. Yeah. I gave it a thought, I gave it a thought and came up with the answer.
So we're on another planet, Promethea. Lilith is coming in. She's bringing in a bounty. She takes him to a bar. There's a super hot girl bartending. I'm getting too old for this shit. The people that are going to try to hire her come up there. She punches one guy in the nose, and she kills a couple guys, and she doesn't kill that nose guy, but we thought she killed the nose guy, and then another guy comes up and she shoots that guy, and it turns out that guy was just wearing a video face of the guy who wants to hire her. He wants to hire her to go to the planet to find Tina.
Yeah. This is a bad scene, Dan.
And really how do they convince her to go, Tony?
Money! So much money. Why
does she need that money?
Well, yeah, like I don't So she's a bounty hunter, right? And she continually tells us that she's like a high class bounty hunter, which means she must be getting good money, right? Mm-hmm. And how much did she get for the guy in the bar?
We don't know.
Which I guess she didn't even turn him in then, because she ended up just leaving that guy there, dead at the bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really dumb.
She was all like, I'll do your job maybe after I take this guy in. And then they're like, oh, that guy's dead or alive. And so they shoot him. So he's dead now. And it's like, well, that doesn't mean she collects the bounty on him because there's a dead body lying in a bar.
Bring the body back to them to collect the reward.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Also, like the weird face video screen thing. What a strange choice that whole thing is.
That didn't bother me. That was at least like, oh, okay, I don't see this all the time in movies.
No, you don't, because it's dumb. You know, like other people have thought about it and they're like, well, hold on, that's a stupid idea. I'm not going to put that in my movie. And then these people did put it in the movie.
He gives her a magic pager. Click the pager when you have found Tina. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Like it's obviously a homing beacon. I guess I don't understand. She seems surprised later
that they were tracking her the whole time.
Right. Like, but he almost tells you that's what it's for.
Yeah.
Very confusing. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, if that thing has enough signal to bounce up to a satellite, then yeah, then she will automatically know that he's tracking her. She would know that instantly if she's that much of a badass.
Yeah, which, she's supposed to be. She's not, but she's supposed to be.
She is not. Okay, boom. Pod drops her on Pandora. She does some more voiceover. There's some scavenger kids there, and she says to the kids, hey, kids, where have you seen this girl? They're all like, point north. Then she gets on this bus with this guy that we see a couple of times during the show.
Yeah, great recurring jokes.
Really I don't understand this guy at all. I don't understand anything about him.
I'm going to assume it's from one of the games. I have no idea.
Okay.
Let me just be very clear. I mean, I have played them, but I'm not a Borderlands guy, but I've dabbled, I don't remember that, but I'm just hoping that's what it's super weird. The whole point of the bus ride is like, oh, I can only drive Vault Hunters, so you must be a Vault Hunter. And she's like, I'm not a Vault Hunter. And then he keeps playing Vault related things. I don't know, man. I don't get it.
Here's where I'm going to teach you how this is a terrible movie.
You're going to learn me things?
Teach you.
I love it.
Pay attention.
All right, hold on. Let me get my noteboard out here.
Get this is what you're going to take notes on. You only took 3 notes on this movie, 3 plus 1 notes.
Well, 4 notes, including the note that says I only took 3 notes.
A note about taking notes, that doesn't really count as a note.
As a note? Shit.
that's more for how you live your life. The dude won't let her get in the bus that's empty of people.
Yeah.
Unless she throws the bag on top. She throws her bag on top. Then when she gets out, he starts driving away, and you're like, wait, her bag's
what about the bag?
The thing's all the way down the road, and it hits a bump, and the bag flies out.
Yeah. It's a funny joke.
Is it a joke? I don't understand. I don't understand any. This is of all the things in this movie, this is the thing I don't understand. Like, what is the decision-making process? She's a badass. That's her bag. She needs to have that bag.
She wouldn't have forgot the bag.
She would have started shooting at him. And there's 1,000 scenarios you could run but they've chosen the one where she's standing there and hasn't dealt with her bag, and fate deals with her bag. I don't understand anything about that. It doesn't make any sense to me. Explain it to me, Tony.
I can't. You were supposed to explain something to me. What am I even going to take notes on from what you just said?
How confused I was.
Dan doesn't understand.
I wrote, her bag just falls off.
Yeah.
This is what's wrong with the movie.
All right. Well, there you go. Sums it up nicely.
Okay, what's the name of the robot, Tony?
Jack.
Claptrap.
Nope. Claptrap. No, you know what? I think I could have come up with that if I thought about it.
You might have.
I don't think so.
So she's standing there, and this robot comes to life under this pile of filth, and then he does a bunch of jokes, and he's all like, I'm the robot that was put here 36 years ago waiting for you. And, if somebody said to me, David, so somebody put a robot somewhere for 36 years ago, and I'm like, okay, I'm 59. So that means it would have been when I was 23. So then I would think back, where was I when I was 23? Which is what she would be doing, because then she would be like, that's the exact time that I was separated from my mother, which of course it can't be.
No.
Because there's no way that was that amount of time. Well, 36 years.
Doesn't make any sense.
23. Well, maybe she's 59. She could be 59 like me. No, she was separated like when she was like 9. So she's like,
she was a kid.
She's like 45 years old. That could be.
Which is, no, I don't believe it.
But whatever. Let's assume that the dates are correct. She would remember, like, you've been here since I was 9, and then she'd be like this. 9 was when I got removed from the planet. Did my mom leave you here? You would figure that out instantaneously, that you're the one causing a robot to come to life and work for you like a slave.
Yeah, it's weird because she doesn't even give it a second thought, right? She comes back to her home planet after 30 years, and there's a robot that's like, I've been waiting for you. And she's like, all right, whatever, I don't give a shit. I don't think so. That would be a mystery you would unravel pretty quickly. But okay.
I'm just going to ignore this and let you just follow along behind me.
If you could just not be with me because I don't like you, that would be great. So stupid.
Here's my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She's like, you're hooked into EchoNet, which is basically just like
some sort of
cameras everywhere. Like a.
I was trying to think of what do they call that in London?
Yeah,
it's the closed circuits CCTV.
CCTV, that's what it is.
Yeah, man, that joke would have landed really well if I knew that right off the bat.
If you'd have taken a note about it, you'd have been in good shape.
Damn you, fourth note.
So then he starts scanning, but as he's scanning, he sings the scanning,
which is my favorite. You're right.
It was very, very funny.
Scanning.
I'm scanning.
And he does that a couple times, and it's good.
It's very funny. You're just like, oh, this is charming. Yeah.
If only everybody else. And the problem is that Jack did all that later, right? Probably.
Probably.
A lot of that was just done in post, I assume, where Jack was like, man, this movie's pretty boring. I better spice it up a little.
And I think he's really trying hard with the voice, right? He's like, okay, let me get this. Okay, we did something. Something happened there.
Yeah. He also has my favorite joke in the movie too, which we'll get to a little bit later.
So they figure out where they're going to go. They need wheels. She shoots a psycho. They steal a car. She frees some children who are caged, and the robot's like, "Why did you free those children?" And you're like, why would you not free those? I mean, it's not like...
Yeah. Well, I think because his point of it, from the robot's character, he's like, he thinks she's a terrible person.
Oh, okay.
And that's why he asked why she did it, because she's a terrible person, and that doesn't make sense, I guess. But I don't know why the movie is doing this.
Yeah, why is the movie pointing that out to us? We know that she's not set up as a monster. She's just set up as a person that's fairly indifferent.
Right. Does everything for money and has no real motivation.
Yeah, it's like when she walked up to the kids at the beginning of the movie, she didn't shoot one of them and then say, hey, rescue kids, you better answer my questions or I'll shoot all of you. Right?
Which would have been funny.
Which would have been very funny. That would have been setting up a character.
Been like, holy shit, she shot a child right out the gate.
That's gonna take some redeeming. You got to go there sometimes.
Amen.
George Lucas killed all the Jedi kids because he thought that would be funny.
Did off screen though, mostly. Oh, I guess in the prequels they kind of do it.
Kill all the younglings.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in the theater, or whenever I first watched that movie, and I was like, what is happening? do we really need to kill the younglings? We
need 30 minutes of it, Dan. That's what we need.
I must admit, I was laughing while they were killing the younglings.
Well, yeah. You're not supposed to be, though.
Because it was absurd. We're supposed to care. I didn't care.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, good old Hayden Christensen. Love that guy.
They're driving. There's dragons on the planet. They show a dragon.
Yeah, I guess. We don't really deal with that, but it's cool.
Never again.
Yeah. Welcome to the world.
They go to a construction zone. She opens the door. She's gone straight to where they're living. I guess they're living in this construction zone. There's Tina. She appears. She's like, where's the soldier? She's like, oh, he's outside or something. And then she leaves.
No, she said he left me.
Oh, he left.
She lied about it.
She's a big liar. Kate Blanchett looks under the bed, giant bomb. And then Tina starts running away, and she's all like, I wonder why she's running away where there's a giant bomb under the... What the hell? I don't understand. Why are you showing that? Tina should run away. Yeah. Then she lifts it up and sees a giant bomb and is like, ah!
Well, here's what's going to really mess... That's not the bomb that actually blows up, Dan.
It isn't?
No. So she sees the bomb under the bed. And is like, wow, that's weird. And then Tina goes, throw me my badonkadonk, which is some of the worst dialogue you could ever think of. So she grabs the bunny and then looks at the bunny, and the bunny is a bomb. And that's when Tina runs away. So there's two different bombs, and the first bomb didn't clue her in, and then she got blown up by the second bomb.
But she didn't get blown up by the second bomb. It just went off because
true.
She'd run to safety from the bomb.
Yeah, you're right about that. I don't know how that works out, but great work. Really fast.
Tina calls Krieg. I wrote Lilith - terrible accent. This was the point at which her talking started to bother me.
Oh, okay. That's interesting that it took that long, because if I was writing more notes on the movie, that would have been like word 2 from me.
Got it.
I did not like the choices made.
This was the point at which I was like, "Oh yeah, this is grating on me."
Okay.
There's like a bad lady shows up in like a hover bike.
Yeah.
And then she's all like, "And I've got lots of people with me," and so lots of people show up way behind her.
It's like this brand new joke we've never heard before, which is you and what army? And then she goes, oh, the army behind me. It's a twist on, when someone comes alone and they're like, oh yeah, you and what army? Because they don't have an army. And then this time she does have an army, which we've never seen before.
And you know what? It doesn't matter that she has an army because they're useless.
Also that. You're absolutely right.
So bombs happen, and then they're on this giant junk pile, and then it starts collapsing a la Deadpool on the helicarrier, and I'm like, I wonder where they got that idea.
They didn't have the money to do it correctly, though. So
no, it's terrible.
It's unfortunate.
Then we have a giant car chase a la Mad Max Fury Road.
Never seen it, wouldn't know. It's a movie that I refuse to watch, Dan. Because everybody loved it. They all loved it so much. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to see that movie. This is a true story. I don't have a real reason other than it annoys me that everyone likes it so much. And I have no interest in seeing the movie.
Well, you should watch Furiosa because everybody hated it.
I know. I did. I actually had that thought, and I was like, I guess we could just start with this one and see what happens. But, I feel like that would be disingenuous.
Furiosa, not a good movie, but Chris, you gotta see it for Chris Hemsworth. He does look unhinged in the trailer. He's completely unhinged. He plays just the weirdest character ever, and it was. There's
weird, like Jamie Lee Curtis in Borderlands weird, or like good weird?
Good weird.
Okay, all right, then I'm on board.
So I liked it as a movie, but it's not a good movie. You're not,
I get that. Yeah,
I mean, after you watch it, you go back and you rewatch Fury Road, and you're like, oh yeah, Fury Road, perfect movie. And then you watch Furiosa, and you're like, well, there was a lot of interesting things. It's too bad it wasn't too bad it wasn't really good.
Yeah, they did some stuff. That's all you can ask for.
Okay, so then they drive through the desert. Urine shoots through the window, then tentacles, and they drive through the monster, and makes it so they escape because they drive into the monster's head and kill it, and then
because they shoot it with like rockets, so they somehow
go out the back of its head.
The timing doesn't work of it, right? Because here's the timing of it.
What's the timing
jump, they fire the rockets, he closes his mouth, and they're sitting on his tongue, as far as I can tell. And then magically they shoot out the back. The timing should have been like fire, 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 hole straight through. But the way they edited it, it feels like there's a gap in between. Doesn't matter. But yeah, they blow a hole in the back of the head. It's a waste of a really cool giant monster.
Yep. And it's even a bigger waste because the bad guys are chasing them, and then the bad guys just
stop. Yeah, they just stop. They're like, wow, they killed a monster. We should stay back here.
Nope. The whole this is one of the reoccurring jokes, is that the whole planet looks like the Star Trek rocks, those rocks. So that's the whole planet. Yeah. So I'm like, that's a joke. Somebody's like, I'm gonna do this clever joke and use this motif everywhere on the planet, and people every time they see it, they'll be like, where's the Gorn? We were at WonderCon years ago, and the guy that played the Gorn, do you know who the Gorn is?
I mean, no. I'm just going to be honest with you, not really.
The Gorn was like this big lizard guy in the original Star Trek, and then Kirk has to
in the lizard suit? Okay, then I do know who that is. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
The guy that played the Gorn was set up at the show with his autobiography explaining, his whole life and how he, was on one episode of Star Trek.
I would read that book. I love depressing books like that, Dan. I find it really interesting.
And Todd went and saw him and talked to him. And then later he came over to the booth, came over to our table. I think it was Todd. I'm pretty sure it was Todd. It was me and Todd.
Feels like a Todd story.
The guy that played the Gorn came over to our table and was like looking at our stuff. And I was like, it's the Gorn.
I love that.
The Gorn. Okay, they have to fix a tire. Where I'm like, Kevin's character is the good guy. Then they all I guess we'll all have to be on the same side. And then they're like, to get in the vault, which we want to do now, we have to find the 3 keys, and we have one of the keys. But really, they have 2 of the keys?
And half the people seem to know that. It's very confusing if I'm just being completely honest. I don't understand, because they say we have 2 left to go. And yet half of that group knows that Tina is, quote unquote, is the other key, which turns out to be Kate. But they know already. I see.
Oh, so she is the key. So they really only need 2 keys and then the person?
And then her. And they already have her and 1 key. So they only need 1 more key. So I don't know. I don't get it.
So they go to Sanctuary City. They go to Moxie's. And then Roland sees an old guy he knows who's named Larry. Great,
Bobby Lee.
Great joke on that one. And then we have Moxie. Moxie is played by, what's her name?
Oh shoot! What is her name?
She was in Showgirls.
Gina Gershon.
By far the most painful character in the movie.
What is she doing? This is one of the other characters where, as soon as she starts talking, I was like, what are these decisions? What are we doing? Who let this happen on set? I don't understand. Eli Roth, I want to sit this guy down and be like, Eli, what the hell were you watching on set? Were you not wearing your cans? Maybe he's not wearing cans and he can't hear anything. Maybe he's just looking at visuals and he's like, wow, she looks great. I'm sure it sounds just as good, but it doesn't. It sounds ridiculous. It's not, I don't understand. That's a day 1 cut. We got to take a week off and restructure our characters. We have to go into a black box theater, and we just have to sit here and go through our characters because this is awful.
It's so bad. I don't even know what she's all like. Y'all don't know what's happening, y'all. It's like, what is going on? What is this character?
Yeah, but when you do it, it's funny. She's not being funny
because she's not trying to be funny.
That's what I'm saying. She thinks this is good. Somebody let Gina think that this is good. And that's going to hurt her in the long run, because when somebody sees this movie, if anyone else saw it, I'm not sure they did, but if anybody sees this movie and goes up to her and it's like, Gina, what the fuck were you doing? She'll be like, I thought it was good. I don't know.
It was in a movie packed with bad character choices. Hers outshines them all. Like
she did. She
won
a
lot.
Yeah.
But we're going to get to Jamie Lee Curtis's character and be like, wow,
which is also really bad, but
and Jamie
not
Lee
as bad.
Curtis character goes in and out.
yeah.
Which is okay. So it turns out that Moxie knew Lilith's mom, and Moxie was supposed to take care of Lilith when her mom left.
Her mom threw her at her. Yeah.
So Larry, of course, turns on Soldier Boy, and then somebody gets tased. Then they have to go take an elevator, which you can only turn on somehow.
Well, it's like broken or something, isn't it?
I don't know. There's a couple.
They had to like fix the wiring or something.
No, that's later. That's the other.
That's
elevator.
Later. I don't know.
There's 2 elevators in this movie.
There's too many. That's two elevators too many. I can't keep them straight.
We don't need elevators. So they get up. They go up the elevator to go see the xenoarchaeologist, which is Jamie Lee Curtis's character, who is named Tanis.
Yeah.
And I wrote, it's sad when Kevin Hart is doing the best character and he's not even doing a character.
I mean, that's the truth of it, though. He's a sub. You know what? I disagree. I'm going to disagree with you. Let me tell you why, Dan. Because Kevin Hart is a big character himself.
Yes.
And they've stripped that away. So This is like a very subdued Kevin Hart. That's a character. Okay? The character might be called Quiet Kevin Hart, but it is still a different character.
See, now that's the character I want to see. He's like, I don't know what's happening here.
Kevin, speak up.
Oh my God. We watched this show called The Rest is Entertainment. And they take, it's like a podcast, but it's on YouTube too. They take questions. Every Friday they take questions. They do like 40 minutes, take like 5 or 6 questions. The question was, what's with closed captioning and why do young people have the closed captioning on everything? And they said that 4 out of 5 young people have the closed captioning on their televisions.
I believe that. Did they say why?
Oh, Tony, you're one of those people. Explain to us why.
I don't want it. But I don't want it, Dan. I hate it. I despise it.
But you live with someone who does it.
I live with someone who needs it. And it's honestly because she likes to have the confidence to know exactly what they're saying. You know what I mean? She reads it. And that's my problem, is that I start reading instead of watching the show. And I'm like, well, now I don't know what's going on. I've missed all of the visuals of this show, and I have no idea what's happening. I'm just reading a book here, and I don't even like reading. But yeah, she loves it. Because sometimes people, like if you watch something with a Russell Crowe type actor who's just, you don't know what they're saying. So it's good to have the subtitles sometimes. But I mean, if it was up to me, they'd never be on. They're distracting. I don't know. Did they say why people have them on? 4 out of 5 is a lot.
They can't figure it out either.
Yeah, makes sense.
It was interesting, but it's definitely a cultural, an age cultural thing that is occurring.
Which you would think is the other way around, because as people get old, like yourself, their ears start going out, and then then it helps to have a visual aid.
If Shannon's running the fans in there in the living room,
oh, for sure,
or the AC, I have to. I mean, it just disappears from
You're absolutely right. The same thing happens to Naomi. Yeah,
my hearing's not great to start out with, but you add just like a little bit of ambient noise.
Yeah,
it's like,
which I do because I run our AC, and our AC is right by our TV. So that is also a reason that she says she needs it too. And I'm like, well, just turn it up. Let's just get loud. But I don't know.
So that was okay.
That's interesting. 4 out of 5 is way higher than I would have liked.
Huge. Oh, sorry. Lilith is mad at Jamie Lee Curtis's character. She was supposed to take care of her from her mom. Okay.
Oh, did you say it was Moxie?
I said it was Moxie.
Or whatever her name was.
Lilith and Tina have a moment. Tina talks about how they made her, and they grew her from Iridian blood. That's what happened. They grew her from Iridian blood. Which, once again, isn't that a big stretch? Why, if you're going to make one, why don't you make 20, right? If this vault is worth enough that an entire planet's worth of people are willing to die for it, why don't you just make 20?
Not only that, but if it's not 100% going to work, that's like if you don't think it's 100%, you would make a bunch of them to, what is that? Like, throw shit at the wall, see what sticks. There's another saying I was trying to go with a buckshot, but I forgot it. So, I mean, you just make a bunch of them and then just throw them on the platform one at a time. Oh, she opened it. We're good.
Yeah. You'd be sending one down every year. See, that's another thing. You could just have her say, I'm this year's attempt.
Well, it would be interesting if she didn't even know that, right?
Yeah.
But she finds out that she's just, the next one up. And then he just discards them, kills them.
All interesting things that could have been thought about if you wanted to do interesting things, but instead we're doing elevators.
Elevator.
I need to know the secret code for the elevator. Yes, that was time well spent on your movie.
Yeah.
Secret elevator code.
Always good.
Okay. At the bar, the bad guys are looking for them. They spot the robot. They follow them, and they find from this journal that they have to go to the caustic caverns.
What was the robot doing? Why was it rolling around town, Dan?
So it could get discovered and lead back to them.
Well, yeah, that is what I just don't understand. What's the robot's motivate? Like, why is he rolling around town and then going to seemingly the same bar they were just in?
Nope.
All right. I don't know.
Nope, Tony. Nope.
Seems like poor choices. That's all.
Then they escape in a dumpster very easily.
Yeah, well, then they get to say the garbage joke of like, is there any way out of this without garbage? Nope. Great joke.
Garbage.
It's a really good joke.
So they go to this place where there's a river of ooze. You must have been excited about the river of ooze.
People do make weird choices. I don't know why we're all obsessed with like weird, gross liquids and substances.
Oh, you don't like it. You don't like it.
I don't like it.
Give you the heebie-jeebies.
Heebie-jeebies is a good word for it. Yeah, I'm not here for it. I don't know.
Do you remember was that the name of Adam's script? The heebie-jeebies? I think it was.
I don't remember.
Do you remember his
script? That was a long time ago, Dan.
Did you read the script? I read the script.
I don't know if I ever actually read it. I know that he sent it to me. Maybe we shouldn't talk about this on air. You know what I'm saying?
There was some good stuff in it.
Okay. All right, great.
I think I did. I think I gave him notes for like the first 20 or 25 pages, but it was like 100 pages. And I was like,
I mean, that's a lot, though.
It's a lot of movie. It was a movie. It was a full movie. So they throw the robot down this one hatch so that he can go and open a door that they know is somewhere that they're going to need to have opened.
I don't know.
I don't know. So Tina almost falls in and dies, but Krieg saves her, and I don't know how he saved her.
Well, he just grabbed her.
I don't know where Krieg was.
Well, have you seen Inspector Gadget? Similar to that Go-Go Gadget arm type of idea.
His arm just shoots across and saves her from anywhere.
It must, because she was all alone, and then she was falling down a pit, and he grabbed her on the scruff of the neck there. So, I don't know.
And then they all climb on this thing that's over the acid river, and then they get there, and then Tina and Krieg are already there, or they are after them. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Don't worry about it. They all get there eventually. That's called good storytelling, Dan.
And then Tina sees a flower on the ground, and it's growing, and she's all like, life can grow anywhere. And then Robot opens the door, and then he steps on it and grinds it and destroys it, and it's like, let's go. Wasn't that your favorite joke of the movie?
Oh, no, that's not my favorite joke in the movie. I actually don't even know where. The problem with only writing 3.5 notes for a movie, Dan,
you don't know where the joke is.
I actually don't know where it falls in the movie anymore. So there's a chance we're just going to miss my favorite joke anyhow.
So then they get to the thing, and then there's a colony. In this next chamber, there's a colony of psychos that they have to sneak behind. So they send the robot out there to, like, distract them, and then he does a whole song and dance while they walk behind them. So their plan works perfectly, and then the bad guys all shoot the robot, and then the robot, uninjured by the bullets, follows after them, and then...
Yeah, he's invincible, by the way.
Yes. He distracts all of them, and then they have to go find... I don't know if this is where he poops or not. He poops out all the
he poops out all the bullets. They look like shells, which is confusing, but it's bullets.
They are shells, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's fine.
And they make the noise of shells as opposed to bullets.
Yeah, all true.
So they have to find the key in all hundreds of crates, and then Robot's like, that's going to take us 4 days. And then Lilith just walks over there, picks it up, brings it back, and they're all like, oh, well, that's solved that problem. But instead of solving that problem, because he's pooping the bullets or shell casings, then the psychos all hear, and then the psychos attack. And then there's a giant fight to the song Ace of Spades.
Yeah, it's not a great fight. Is this the part where part of it is in like strobe light effect? Or is that a different fight?
I wouldn't have written
one
that down.
Of the fights. You know what? It's irrelevant. In one of the fights, the lighting is just a strobe light, and I hate that. We need to stop doing that. That's terrible lighting.
That may not have happened at this point, but this was the right point to complain about it, Tony.
Great. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate you.
So they escape. And then, so since they escaped, what do we follow up the fight then the escape? Do we do quiet time? Nope, we have the exact same fight.
Yeah. You know what's better than one fight? 2 fights.
And then they get to the next elevator, and then Jamie Lee Curtis is trying to fix the elevator.
This is my elevator. Okay, great.
She's trying to fix the elevator, and then I'm like, oh, they got to guard this one hall. I'm like, oh, they're going to send Krieg to guard the hall, right? Because he's your person you send to guard the hall. Because
100%.
you're doing Serenity, where you send Summer Glau to do it, and then she fights it and then wins. And everyone's like, holy shit, that was impressive.
That was unbelievable.
Who do we send to fight, Tony?
Just like our normal human soldier guy. He's great, by the way. Really, really, really winning.
And he just kills them all and then comes back to them later.
Well, sort of. I mean, he shoots a bunch of them, and then Tina throws him one of the bunny rabbits again. I don't know where she was holding that. And he throws that down the hall. Try to bear with me, because it's very confusing. He throws it down the hall, right? Yeah. Blows up the hall. Yeah. And then more guys come, and he starts shooting them, and then they tackle him. Yeah. That's the events that we see. Yeah. And then we cut to him a few scenes later, and he's under a pile of bodies, makes a really great orgy joke, which was sorely needed. I mean, thank God for that joke. Really saves the movie. He crawls out of this pile of bodies. I don't know why they're dead. Yeah. I have no idea why these bodies are on top of him and dead. Was he underneath just shooting?
Probably.
I don't know.
Think so.
But then he crawls out with the bunny head. Yeah. And he's like, he makes a joke to the bunny head and then throws it away. How does he have the bunny head? I don't understand what happened in between the cuts.
Maybe that's how you arm it. You pull off the head and then you throw
like
the body
a grenade.
Out. Yeah.
But he threw the whole bunny. We saw him throw it, Dan. All right, I'm sorry.
I mean, maybe you were paying enough attention to notice that he threw it. I was not paying enough attention to notice he threw it. So, and more importantly,
that's fair.
He throws the bomb. I do remember he threw a bomb. I don't remember if he did this, but there was like grating on the floor that was acid below, and I was like, "Oh, he's going to blow up the thing, and then they're all going to fall to their deaths."
Sure, that would have been smart.
No, the rusted grate that the weight of a human can have fall apart. Unaffected by a bomb.
Totally fine. Yeah. Withstood it. No problem. It's great stuff.
Okay. So they go in the elevator. And then the elevator starts going way too fast, and they're all like, "What's going to happen? We're going to die!" And then what happens, Tony?
They teleport. I don't know.
They teleport.
Yeah, they teleport.
Tina now has the power to teleport.
Well, does
group?
she? She?
I don't know.
No, it's Cate Blanchett, Dan.
What?
Yeah, it's Kate that actually does it.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
Really?
I think so, because I think that's why she throws up afterwards. I could be misreading the situation.
You're right. Okay.
But the way that the movie is doing it, they're like, oh, she is sick because they teleported. She was not used to it. But I was like, no, it's because she's exerting that energy, and that's why she's sick. That could be me. But she teleports later at the finale. So I assume it was her both times.
Oh.
I don't know. Tina seems to think it's her too, but she's also crazy. So I don't know.
Wow, you broke the code, Tony. I'm impressed.
Broke the code. Good job. Woo. Nailed it. I don't. Why would an elevator go too fast up? Too fast down is something I can get behind, but too fast up is just weird. It's just a really weird choice.
So you'd have to teleport?
So you'd have to teleport. That's right.
Yeah,
you nailed
it. The answer's right there in front of you, Tony.
You're absolutely right. They wrote that backwards. That's what happened. They were like, "Oh, we can teleport out."
So we have quiet time. The keys are also a map. They do the map, and then they see exactly where they have to go. And then we go, "Oh well, Tina's the last key." And then the prophecy says that she's going to get consumed when the vault opens, which of course doesn't happen to either of the characters.
Well, not in like a literal or metaphorical sense. No.
There it is. Robot fixes the pager. Lilith busts it again. Then a little drone shows up, and then they're like, "Uh-oh." And then...
Well, yeah, another...
Atlas.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting his
Atlas,
stupid
the
name.
Bad guy.
He should have was like, "Hey, did you break my pager?" And it's real dumb.
And then, of course, Tina's there watching, and Tina's like, "I'm betrayed, but I'm not that betrayed, but I'm kind of betrayed, so I'm going to do one thing that acts like I've been betrayed."
I'm just like a little betrayed. Like, I'm more annoyed than betrayed, to be honest with you, but, still counts.
Tina blows up Lilith. Then when Lilith wakes up, the robot's there. Everybody left. And then we get some flashbacks about how her mom abandoned her on the planet.
Right. Don't care.
Why did her mom abandon her on the planet?
She just, I think she just couldn't get on the chopper or something.
Oh, no, she puts the kid on the chopper, but she doesn't get on the chopper.
Like maybe there's not enough room. I don't know, Dan.
She'd have been holding like a big wrench, and the guy should have been like, "You can't get on here with that heavy wrench. That wrench is too heavy."
But it's my favorite wrench. I'm not leaving it behind.
So they're at some holes. Yes, they're at some holes. And then Frank finds it. Who's Frank? What's it?
Who is Frank? I don't know.
Maybe that's Kevin Hart's character. Kevin Hart's character is
Kevin
Frank.
Hart's name Frank?
I'm thinking it is.
Let me quickly IMDb that.
We found his name.
His name is Roland. So I don't know who Frank is.
Who's Frank?
I'm looking if there's a Frank in the movie. I don't see a Frank in this cast list, Dan. I don't know.
Well, they find the place to put the keys. They put the keys in there, and then Tina stands there, and then nothing.
Oh, no, the Krieg finds it. He goes, science thing or something like that. I don't know.
He lifts up a bunch of junk, and then the thing is right there.
Yeah.
Don't know how he knew to look there for the thing.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Nothing happens. Well done, Tina. Atlas shows up, and then he's all like, "Kill them all." Then Lady Bad Guy shows up, and then Lilith does the thing and becomes the Phoenix.
Yeah, the Dark Phoenix. Yeah.
Her clothes caught on fire. I was like, "Thank you."
Hey, thanks, Eli Roth. Great decision. You did one. Good for you.
So she becomes like a person that can fly, and you can't kill Atlas, but Atlas has a ship that has a gun.
Hold on, though. Let's just talk about Atlas's shield thing. Oh my God. And he's like, oh, you almost got me. If it wasn't for my Atlas shield. Ugh. Vomit.
What is that? Why is that bad? I don't get it.
Maybe it's from the game. I have no idea. But he just opens his jacket. He's got two little devices here, and they're the Atlas shield thing. I was just like, this is so stupid. What's happening?
And then he shoots her with the big gun, and she's like, almost died.
Oh, wait, ow. Yeah.
But then she comes back and saves everybody, and they blast people, and they shoot her with the ship's gun. And then she decides to then she gets her powers back, and then she just flies through the ship, and then the ship
she decides to fly at the ship at one point, and then like hits the shield, and then falls back down.
Well, she destroys the ship.
She does it the second time, but the first time she flew to the ship, she like hit the shield and fell down or something.
Once again, you would know that the ship had shields, right? So you wouldn't go full blast into a ship, because you'd be like,
you wouldn't just fly into a wall on purpose. No, you wouldn't think so. I don't know, man.
She should be like, blast, 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 blast out of her hands, and see the shields up there, and then be like this. Oh, there's a shield. Maybe I should go steal the battery off of Atlas's backpack, and then I can disable the shields.
I love it.
So Atlas has grabbed Tina, and he's all like, I'm gonna kill her unless you let me in the vault. And you're just like, how's this gonna work?
I still don't know, and I saw the movie.
She lets Atlas into the vault, and it's like, here you go, you're in the vault. And then he's all like, oh, it's awesome. And then she just
it wasn't. He was wrong.
He is wrong. And then she just walks up behind him and disables his shield.
Yeah. So I'm a little confused. Is the shield only on the front?
I don't know, man.
Because I assume that the shield would also guard against, like, me just reaching into your body. But it's also confusing because he was able to grab Tina and bring her into his body. So what does the shield do? Does it only block bullets?
It's an AI shield. You know, in Dune...
So it's thinking. Okay.
In Dune, you have the shield, right? And it stops bullets.
Yeah.
But the way to kill someone that's shielded in Dune is you got to use a slow knife and then just go real slow.
Just get through it.
And then
No, I remember that. Yeah. Because it's all about, I don't know, like velocity. I don't know what it is. Velocity. I don't know science.
That's good. You're right. So she disables his thing, and then the tentacle monster.
Right. So did she need to disable the thing for the tentacle monster to kill him? Probably not. Probably not. Also, why is there a tentacle monster?
Where else are you going to keep a tentacle monster?
Why are you keeping one at all? Only one person can get supposedly through the gate, and that's the Flame Hawk.
Who's feeding that tentacle monster?
Well, apparently she is. She just fed him right now.
There it is.
I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense, man.
They go back to the city. There's a party going on. Peace has been attained. Everyone's happy, and they like, let's go to the party. And so then she turns into the Phoenix and flies over there and is like, fireworks of the Phoenix, and the roll music. Everyone
roll tide.
Clap. So what was the joke you liked, Tony?
Yeah, no, we totally missed it. I have no idea where it falls in the movie, but they're talking about their plan. And the robot calculates the odds.
0%.
And he's like, the odds of survival are 0. Wow, you never see that. Made me laugh really hard.
That's a good joke.
I don't know what it had anything to do with, but I just, I'm glad we called it out. It's a really nice joke, and I feel much better now. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good joke. Yeah, so this movie just, how to take a big budget, this movie kind of like the Avatar movie, right?
Wow, I think people would disagree with us because they like Avatar, but I think generally people hated this movie as much as we did.
People hated the whatchamacallit? No, not James Cameron's Avatar, the other one.
Oh, Avatar, the cartoon movie.
Yeah, the cartoon movie.
I see.
Very similar, kind of like, what is happening? Why are we doing any of this?
I feel the same way about James Cameron's Avatar, so I just want to put that out there.
I enjoyed it the first time I saw it because...
That's because you're dumb, Dan. I'm sorry, you're not. I just kidding.
Wow, that's a real... using a Dan line on Dan. Wow, I got danned.
Turn it around.
No, I mean the first time you see them flying on those unicorns and the dark beasts are coming through the thing, you're like, oh, this looks good.
Sure. I mean, yeah, it looks good.
Then the guy in the suit pulls out the big knife, and you're just like, oh. Why is he gotta have a big knife? You can't give something different like a stick or a flamethrower. No, big knife.
Flamethrower, I'm in. I love a flamethrower.
Why do you name the guy Jake Sully? Like, is that his name? Jake Sully?
No, that's 100% it. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably Sullivan, right?
I
don't know.
Anything else to say about this masterpiece of garbage?
Nope. It's bad. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad stuff.
Now we talk about something we liked. I just started the Agatha All Along Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah, that's on my list.
The beginning's a little slow, and then
then
you're like, I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we're gonna watch it. So
I made it. Did you watch WandaVision?
Oh, of course. Yeah, we love WandaVision.
Yeah,
we skip a lot of the new Marvel stuff, but WandaVision was.
So, I think if you're a WandaVision person, you're going to like this. Aubrey Plaza's in there, and what's her name? She's, Catherine Hahn as Agatha. It's like,
yeah, she's good. She's good.
She's good at that. What do you got for us, Tony?
We started a new show. Well, they just started, and we started as well. High Potential. With what's her name from It's Always Sunny? Caitlin Olsen.
Oh, really?
Caitlin Olsen.
One of the Olsen twins.
It's like a new mystery procedural, kind of like Castle, that sort of vibe. It's not as good as Castle. Let's not be confused, but still, it's enjoyable. We're gonna watch it, and I'm excited. Excited to have a new real show that's happening on live television.
Is it on CBS or something? One of those stupid things.
ABC.
Oh.
Same place Castle was.
So it's probably fairly unwatchable for most of us. Well, I'll try it once.
Maybe, but they're fun.
I try to watch those shows sometimes, and I'm just like, nope.
Listen, I'm not going to blame you. I'm not going to say, oh, it's great, you need to watch it. But, if you like the genre, it's a solid entry.
So now we're moving into Halloween times.
We sure are. What do you got, Dan?
So I looked through the movies. I'm like, I got some movies, and they, so this movie, I never saw it. Read the book.
Oh,
haven't seen
book
the
to
movies.
Movie. I love that.
Book to movie, starring everybody's favorite Richard Gere, Pretty Woman himself.
Richard Gere. It was a book.
Okay. You don't even know it's a book. That's why it's funny.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I'll stop trying to think about it.
I don't know if it's a horror movie, but it's spooky. It's called The Mothman Prophecies.
Oh, The Mothman Prophecy. Sure. Yeah. Okay. No, I saw this back in the day, back in high school, I believe.
Yeah, I read the book in high school.
Don't remember it at all. I remember there being a bridge involved.
That makes sense. There's bridges in America, and this takes place in America.
I've got it.
My understanding, this takes place in America. Probably shot in Canada, but takes place
but
in America. Why is it?
Okay, great. Yeah, I love that.
That seems like it's a possibly spooky movie, or supposed to be spooky movie that's not at all spooky.
Well, yeah, I mean, isn't that the way they usually go? That's great. I'm excited.
And then, Tony, you're going to be able to pick something out next week, so you better start thinking about it now.
I've already got. I think I'm saving Todd's idea until closer to Halloween.
Well, you only have two movies to pick.
So my second Halloween pick, but I already got what I'm going to pick next week.
Oh, wow.
I've already got it.
We're locking them in, locking those movies in. So we're going to the Mothman Prophecies. And if you like what we do here, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, or subscribe. Those are all things you can do to support us in front of the face of the algorithm that fights against us every day, tries to keep the good man down and the good cell and the Tony also.
Yeah, I don't know if good man is an appropriate description, but I'll take it.
And so we'll be back next time talking about the Mothman Prophecies, and maybe we'll see you then.
Goodbye, everybody.